Hey, welcome to my channel. This video today is going to be about the use of the watch balance dunk tank. So that's what I'm going to call it, the watch balance dunk tank. My wife recommended the dunk tank because you're dunking it into a tank. So it's like the old carnival game where you throw the ball and the mayor of the city goes flying into the dunk tank if you hit the target properly. So here you've got the dunk tank sitting here, and I'm just going to get right into that video right now. So this is the dunk tank video, and what a great dunk tank it is, I'm telling you. Alright, it's now time to dunk tank the balance. So this is the term my wife said I should use, the incredible balance dunk tank that I've invented and made. So I need to fill the dunk tank with lighter fluid prior to the dunk tank, the balance going into the dunk tank. And what I'll do is I'll reposition the balance on another tack before I do that. So I just grab that balance, it's nicely resting there, and then move it over to the other tack, what I would like to refer to as tack 2. There we go. So the balance is now on the other tack. This is the little piece of spongy material I use to actually support the balance over the dunk tank. And here I've got the screw that holds the balance cock, and I'm going to put that, I'm going to move this whole lot over just a bit. I'm going to stay away from the gears. I need to move those so I don't screw them up. And I'll just push this here so you can see that too. There we go. And I'm going to put that in the little jar right there. So, but before I do any of this, I'm going to just put the gears down on this paper, and then I'm going to move the whole piece of paper over so I don't screw this watch up. So, because I know your hands can get in the way of stuff, especially when you're making videos. So you need to be aware of that if you ever decide to make any watchmaking videos, that this could become a disaster fast if you do the wrong stuff. So I'm going to drag the carpet over here and just kind of try to get it out of the way. And look at that, it's like Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. So that's way over here, and as far as I'm concerned, it's still not far away enough. So I'm going to do some more dragging. You can watch it on the other camera or just forget I'm doing it, but I got to drag it up high now so I'm not in the way with my hands. And now it's way up there, so up on the side. So as you can see right there, so I moved it over. Now it's out of the way, out of the way. Now I'll just reposition this camera here. And so there's the dunk tank, and I tried to get a nice angle there so I could see it. Probably the angle on the other side facing me would be better. That way I can actually work on it. How's that sound? Alrighty then, here we go again. So I've got the dunk tank in position. The balance is right here. I just need to fill this up with lighter fluid. I could put this in first and then fill it up. I could try that, or I could fill it up first, but whatever I do, like last time, don't fill it up to the top, because if you do that, it's going to spill over. So I learnt that the hard way yesterday. So there's enough lighter fluid in there. And again, do not smoke while you're doing this, because it could be interesting. So I don't think you want to do that. So there we go. I did get a request to make one of these dunk tanks. I'm sure the gentleman will watch this video and go, this is cool stuff, but the amount of time it takes, takes a long time to make one of these because it's all brass, and that's the difference. If this was made of wood or something else, it wouldn't be as bad. So I'm going to just move this out of the way and just move this over slightly. So there you go. There's the dunk tank, and there's the I'd still need to figure out if I want to keep this, positioned like this, or maybe tape something to the bottom so it's a little rougher so it doesn't move around a lot. But anyway, so now I'm going to raise the dunk tank very carefully. I need to put my other glasses on first because I will raise the dunk tank. These are the glasses that allow me to actually see. So I'm going to raise the dunk tank as the spring is waiting in earnest. And I think I want to make sure that the balance is out of the way a little bit. Not sure how to do that, but as I raise that dunk tank, and I get a little tiny end of that spring. So let's just raise this up, and you can fiddle with that. So the balance is now in the lighter fluid, but what I want to do is dunk it even more. So I'm going to move the whole thing over just a tad so that the balance, the edge of the balance cock is free from the dunk tank. And it's going to go up and then slide down probably. Yeah, that's going up pretty high right now. So that balance and hairspring are completely submersed in the dunk tank. And I'm just going to fart with this just a bit, move it over like that. There. So now it's in there, and I can, if I was really brave, take my puffer and start puffing, but I'm telling you, you just leave it in there for a while, and that lighter fluid just goes to work on that hairspring. It's unbelievable how good it comes out. And like I said before, I had this hairspring under my microscope before, not this one, but a different one, and it was gummed up. I put it in the dunk tank. It was a different version. I was kind of holding it in there. I just laid it down and filled this big huge tank up, and then I just left it there for like half an hour because it was having all kinds of issues, and it just cleaned everything up nicely. The stuff just dropped right off of it, and I'm sure that this is going to do exactly the same thing. I can just move the balance around just a bit like this with my tweezers, just a tiny bit, and that's not doing anything to the hairspring. There's no stress on that at all. And then I notice when you lower the dunk tank, so let's start lowering this now and just assume that that's clean enough. I could agitate it like I said before, where you take a blower and then you just blow air in there, and I'm not sure if this will splash all over the place, but it might. But you can agitate it just a bit by blowing air in there like that. I'm just bubbling up the air a little. And that's further cleaning it by agitating it that way. I just splash some lighter fluid out there. You got to be very careful doing this. The lighter fluid, it actually evaporates so quickly. Actually, I don't have to do it inside. I can just do it on the outside like that. That's more controlled. That's nicer, actually. And just keep doing that for a little while. And that's good enough. Just move that out of the way. Now I notice that when I lower the dunk tank, so lowering the dunk tank, my thumb is usually going faster than my finger, so I got to make sure that I lower it kind of at the same rate. Somebody said I should put an additional gear in there, and I'm like, yeah, you're giving me too much work to do. So there, I'm lowering the dunk tank. Now, sage advice, grab that balance on the edge while you're lowering the dunk tank and hold it up a bit, because the viscosity of the liquid will grab onto that balance and stretch the hairspring, and you don't want that to happen. So I'm not sure if the word is viscosity, but it's the tension, the tension of the liquid. So surface tension, I think it's called, surface tension of the liquid. And so now I can just move that over a bit, and I can let that hang. There it is there. So that can hang and dry just like that. I believe I can just move this out of the way and probably, I'm not sure if it'll clear the bottom, but if it doesn't, it's going to be pretty close. There we go. So now I've got my lighter fluid in here, and I can reuse that. So if you do, actually the first thing you do is clean the balance, then you can reuse the lighter fluid on that. So I still have to remove the screws from the top here and lift that out and then clean the jewel and put it back in again. So that's a one-stop shopping kind of thing here. So that's pretty cool. Did I lose focus on this? Let me see. There we go. That's a bit better. So there you go. That's a quick video on dunk tank cleaning. It's just so easy. It's so easy. And if this watch has a perfect bead error, it de-risks me taking off the balance, the hairspring, which I would normally do. I'd take the hairspring off, I'd make a mark on the balance of where that hairspring was, where the stud was, and take the hairspring off, and then I would clean it, and then I would put it back on and hopefully get it close to that mark. Then I'd put the whole watch together again and test it, and if the bead error was like 2 or 3 or 4 or something, and I'm like, oh my god, I'd have to take it off again, because getting a tool inside there to twist that collet around the balance staff is a very dangerous and almost impossible job for me. Some people might be able to do that, not me. So I prefer actually cleaning it in place, and I know from the past experience, by doing this, it comes out really good. But you got to make sure you take the jewel off the top and then oil that top. So also look at the pivot on the top too. So if there's any problems at all with that pivot, and or if it's dirty or something like that, then you may have to take the hairspring off and deal with it, right? You can clean the bottom pivot if you want to, but usually the pivot's rubbing in those jewels. If they're not damaged, they're usually very clean. It's the jewel and the dirt on the cap, because there's the oil in the cap dries up, and that's where your friction is, because there's a little tiny bit of side shake in these jewels. The pivot in the jewel, a little tiny bit of side shake, but the end shake, if it's perfect, that means the jewel is just touching that top, the pivot is just touching that top jewel. So you need to put the oil on the top cap jewel, flip it back in, and that provides a lubrication for that pivot for the next 5 years, right? So that helps that. So there we go. That's my the dunk tank, the balanced dunk tank in operation, and it's pretty good. Works really well, very easy. When you have the whole hairspring thing just sitting there too, you can actually just grab the balance ever so slightly again, like that, and then use the blower to dry everything off, right? Or you can just let it sit there and dry off. So I'm of two schools. I'm not sure which one I am of actually. So, but I will get rid of this liquid, or this fluid, and then I'll put my my protector on there, and I'll just let it dry sitting on this. So I'll rise it up and let it suspend from there. But let me get rid of that fuel first. Alright, here's the last step in the dunk tank video. So I've got the this little piece of material here that I have, and I just put the dunk tank back in place like so, and just dip it down so it clears the pivot. And then, see, get that down as low as I can get it, and I can slide this into place. I'll raise the balance just a bit, and my wife's coming upstairs and she's going to talk any second now. And then I can raise the dunk tank up like that and take all the stress off the hairspring. Look at that, just sitting there, no stress on the hairspring. You don't wind it all the way up, but there you go. So now it's in perfect position to just sit there and dry. And then I can also work on the jewel while it's sitting there. Alright, there you saw the whole dunking of the balance and the control you have over that balance in the dunk tank. You're able to rise it up to get that lighter fluid all over that hairspring and the balance. You're able to agitate it with a puffer. Puffer. And you're able to get a very clean balance that way without having to work that hard, as they say. So if you think the balance is causing the issue in a dirty hairspring, before you even clean the watch, you can do this. You can throw that in, clean it up really fast. Don't even bother doing the cap jewel or the upper lower jewels or whatever. Just do that. Put it back in the watch. And if that hairspring was so gummed up it was causing the watch issue, that maybe is the first thing you do. You dunk it in. It takes like 2 minutes to do, and then you know that's the issue. And then you can go about, take it out, go about, clean the whole watch. And if you want, you can strip the balance down completely and do a proper full cleaning on it. But the dunk tank is great. It's like the tank, as well as you can see right now. As you move that dunk tank up, you're taking all the stress off of the hairspring, because now it's just sitting on there, and this little pad has got a little T on it. It's like an opening sort of thing, and the roller table falls. The roller table falls through there, so it's pretty cool. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Subscribe to my channel, click the little bell, and you get information on when the next video is coming. Also, if you need me to do any work for you, just right direction here, eh? Just contact me at jdwatchservice@gmail.com, jdwatchservice@gmail.com, and thank you for watching my service.